Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome back to Exclusive Modest. Hope you have another video. Today's episode is going to be on how to cut this lovely kaftan you are seeing on the thumbnail. You can see it. So I'll be combining these two fabric together. It's a dusted fabric I'm using here. I'm using white dusted fabric and the burnt orange dusted fabric. So this particular white dusted fabric is 1 yard and the burnt orange also is 1.5. So I'll be combining these two together now. If you are cutting this for an adult, you're going to make use of 4 yards. So the outer is going to be 3 yards and the inner one is going to be 1 yard. So you can see this is the lace I'm going to use at the mouth of the sleeve just to beautify it, and that is the bias I'm using to beautify it the way it is on the thumbnail. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to cut it out. The first cutting is going to be on the burnt orange, then the next one is going to be on the white. So let me cut out the burnt orange first. So this is after folding it into 4 to cut out the body. You can see it now. This is into 4 places. So the first thing to take measurement of here is going to be the shoulder. So I'll be making use of shoulder 10.5 inches there. 10.5 inches is here, so that means it's going to be 5.25. yes. So from here I'm going to make use of 1 inch for the shoulder slant, then I'm going to slant it up to the center of both back and front. You can see. Then the next thing here is to take the full length of the dress. The full length of the dress here is going to be 36 inches. The 36 inches is with the seam allowance. You can see it now. After that, I'm going to take the arm measurement starting below the shoulder slant. The arm measurement of 5.5 inches as well. Then the bust measurement of 7 inches. That's going to give us 28 inches. You can see. So I'll be adding a seam allowance of 1 inch to this. 1 inch of seam allowance. Then I'll go down to the waist measurement of 10 inches. So that is the waist point. So the actual wideness of the waist, that's what I'm taking now. So I'm using 6 inches. That is going to be 24 with 1 inch of seam allowance as well. So the first thing we took was waist point. That was 10 inches. But now the waist measurement I use 6 inches. That is going to give us 24 inches. Then from that point, I'm slanting it down to the full length of the dress, like an A line. You can see it now. You can see where I did it. So I'm going to cut that almost to the shoulder as well. Then I can now start to cut it out. So after cutting it out this way, the next thing here is to cut out the neckline. The neckline here, I'm making use of 2.25 inches for the wideness of the neck, which is this 2.25 inches is here. You can see. Then the deepness is going to be 1 inch. Then I'm going to connect it together like this. So after that, I'm going to take out the back so that I can cut out the V-neck at the front. When you check out the style properly, you're going to see that it has a V-neck at the front. So that's what I'll be cutting out now. So you can see. So the deepness of the V-neck now is going to be 5 inches. 5 inches. 5 inches for the deepness of the V-neck, which is here. You can see. Then from that area, I'm going to slant it up to the wideness of the neck. You can see. So I can now cut it out. You can cut it out now. You can see it now. So you can see the way I'm cutting it. Then after the cutting, I'm going to divide the front into 2. No, the front is going to be open, but both the inner and the outer, they're going to sew it together. So I'm going to show you all that when I'm joining them. So we are done with this. We are done with the front. So the next thing now is to cut out the white dushes for the front. It's going to be two front. I told you it's going to be two layers at the front, so I'm going to fold it into two the way you did for the other one. Then I'm going to use the back to cut out this. So I'll be placing my back on this particular one. So this is the back now, you can see. So this is how I'm going to place my back, just to have two of that. So I'm placing my back, so I'm going to place it properly, so that it will not be more than the one I've cut earlier. So after placing it properly, I can now cut it out. You can see they will have the same shoulder, they will have the same armhole, don't forget, they will have the same armhole, the same wideness. So that's why you must place it properly. Don't let it be more than the initial one. So you can see they have the same wideness, the same length. So but at the length area here, I would like to deduct some inches from the white, because it's going to be at the inner part of the dress. So I don't want them to have the same length, so I can now deduct. So I can now deduct 1 inch from the length of the inner one. You can see the way I'm doing it. So I want to use my tape so that it will be straight. So this is going to be minus 1 inch. So this is how it's going to be. You can see this is after cutting out the length. I've deduct 1 inch from the length. So the next thing here is to load the neckline for the front. So I'm going to load the neckline for the front here now, because it's a front neckline which is going to be different from the back neckline. So I'm going to load this with 1 inch. So you can see with 1 inch, then I'm going to cut it out. So this is the neckline now. So we're done with the both back and front here. You can see how it is. You can see the wideness of the neckline. You can see how beautiful this is. So let me show you, so that we're getting to this tie. You can see it now. So this is the way it's going to be. That is going to be the inner, and this is going to be the outer. So you can see the way I'm placing it on it now. You can see. So this is one side of the kimono, and the other side too, I'll be placing it on it. So the next thing to do here is to cut out the sleeve. So this is what I'm using for the sleeve. I'll be folding it into two first like this, then into four. No, this is for both sleeves. So the length of my sleeve is just 18 inches. So this is the length I need. So the next thing I'm going to do here is to take the wideness, but before that I'm going to cut it out, just to cut out the shape of the armhole. You can see the way I'm tracing it. I'll just cut it out this way. So before I can cut it down, I have to know the wideness of my sleeve. So the wideness of my sleeve, with the same allowance, I'll be making use of 7.5 inches. So this is my 7.5 inches. So is that 7.5 inches, that same wideness I'm going to trace down, because it's not a fitted sleeve, as you can see it on thumbnail. So I'll now cut it out now. So after the cutting, you can see the sleeve. I'll notch the center. I'm just trying to trim this area, then notch the center for both sleeves. You can see. So we are done with this now. The next thing now is to cut out the sleeve into two. I want to divide the sleeve. This is not compulsory. It depends on how you fold your sleeve. You understand? So the way I folded this now, that makes me to be dividing it into two this way. So after the division, I'm trimming the excess. So we are done with the sleeve, you can see, and this is the lace that I'm going to use to beautify the sleeve side. So at the picture they make use of bias, but here I'm making use of the lace. So this is the bias that we're going to use around the body. So let me go and do all this now and show you the finishing. So the next thing is to chalk out the princess dart. The bias is on top of it, but here I'm not going to cut my princess dart into two. I'm just going to chalk it down. Then at that line I'm going to sew my bias on it. I'm not going to cut it. So you can see the way I turn the front. I turn it from the one side of the fabric to the right so that the bias will show the way it is on the main style. So this is what I'm doing now. I'm trying to chalk down the distance. I'm using the distance of the two busts. That's what the princess dart needs, So you can see the way I'm trying to trace it down. So I will now connect every line together. So it will be on that line that I'm going to sew my bias on. So I'm going to trace it to the armhole. So from that armhole now, from the shoulder, I'm going to take some inches from the shoulder. You can see from this shoulder now, I'm taking 4 inches down. 4 inches, that will be my shoulder point. So I'm trying to cuff it in like that. So that's what I use. This is different because I'm sewing for smaller size. That is why. So if I'm sewing for a bigger size, you have to use the appropriate measurement on your client. You can see the first thing I took from the shoulder to the arm was 4 inches. Then I'm taking the distance, then connect it to the arm back to give us our princess dart. Welcome back. The finished work so far. This is the dress. I'm done with it. You can see how beautiful this turns out. You can see the sleeve, you can see the front and the inner part of the dress. You can see the abaya dress. You can see the sleeve that we added our lace to. So when I open it, you can see how it's going to be. You can see the side that they join together. And you really use one front. The front is just doubled, the back is single, don't forget. So this is how they join together. This is the bias we used at the area I chalked out. You can see, and you can see the way it is. You can see how beautiful this is. And at this side I leave some inches down, like 4 inches, then I bias that area. And at the sleeve also, it has it at the armhole. The bias is at the armhole. You can see the way we place that at the armhole. And at the elbow side, then instead of using bias at the sleeve mouth, I make use of trimmings. So you can see the neckline. This is the back neckline. I can make use of button, I can make use of hook and eye, depending on what I want to use. So you can see it now. You can see the neckline of the front. Then this is the back. You can see the back. The back is orange, just plain burnt orange. You can see now. So if you're watching for the first time, what are you waiting for? You have to subscribe to my channel for more amazing tutorials. And for those people that have already subscribed to our channel, I really appreciate you guys for watching our video always. See you in my next tutorial. Assalamu alaikum.